Ever been in love? Well, you're not alone. This is a program about love.
I love you truly.
No, not that kind. Young love.
Truly, dear. Skiddy-oop-de-bam.
Welcome to a brand new radio program called Young Love, starring Janet Waldo and Jimmy Lydon with John Heaston, Jerry Hausner, the Judd Conlon choristers, and Wilbur Hatch and his orchestra.
Truly, 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 oh, truly, dear.
Professor Mitchell?
Hi, Sally.
Hiya, Mitch.
Hi, Casanova. Still going with that redhead?
Nope, it's a blonde now.
New girl?
New hair.
You see the things you can learn at a university? Every day, I learn more from the students here than they learn from me. Just sitting here on a bench, watching the student body stretch itself. How do you like our campus? Midwestern University. Through these portals pass the beefiest football players in the world. We have a few classes here, too. That's where I come in. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not Mr. Chips. If anybody refers to me as that kindly, gray-haired, grand old man, I'll kick his teeth in.
Hello, Professor Mitchell.
Hello, half-pint. What a quart of milk she'll make someday.
Hello, Mitch.
Oh, hi, Einstein. Well, what's the matter with you? Did you get a bad goldfish for breakfast?
Well, I didn't eat any breakfast. I'm despondent.
Did you flunk that astronomy midterm?
Oh, sure. But my main trouble isn't astronomy.
Well, you're no ball of fire in my journalism class either. But don't worry, I never flunk anybody. I can't stand the same faces 2 semesters in a row.
Mitch, do you approve of marriage?
As a part of the academic curriculum?
No, as an institution.
Well, some of my best friends were married, including my mother and father.
Well, you've got to do it sooner or later, don't you?
No. William the Conqueror never got married. Neither did James Buchanan.
Well, I don't want to be James Buchanan. Mitch, how would you like to be in love with the most beautiful girl on the campus that everybody else on the campus is in love with, only you're in love with her more than everybody else on the campus is?
And this is the same language Shakespeare used.
Well, I've been going with Jan for 19 months and 3 weeks, and nothing's happened. If you aren't going forward, you're going backward.
You could alternate.
We're wasting so much time. A man's only young once.
You still got your hair.
Oh, Mitch, this is a crisis. Jan's been helping win Chakowitz with his Spanish, and I think she's beginning to enjoy it.
Look, that dumb quarterback practically supports this university.
Yeah, but you know what I heard her say to him?
What?
Hasta la vista.
That just means goodbye.
Yes, but does Win Chakowitz know that?
Look, Win Chakowitz doesn't know anything.
Mitch, what would you say if Jan and I... Well, if we went and did it?
Did it?
Got married.
What would your folks say?
Oh, we couldn't tell them.
Well, what would Jan's folks say?
Oh, we wouldn't tell them.
What would the university officials say?
Oh, we can't tell them. But what would you say?
Oh, don't tell me.
Do you think Jan and I would be happy together?
Well, she's beautiful, smart, got imagination.
She helps me with my astronomy, too.
That ought to give you heaven on earth. Marry her and you might even graduate.
Oh, gee, Mitch, thanks. You've changed the course of my whole life.
Now, wait a minute. Don't take me too literally, Einstein. I think you 2 kids are right for each other, and when the time comes to do something about it, you'll know it. But don't get married as if you were double parked.
Oh, yeah, but what do you do if your ignition's on and your motor's getting overheated?
What'd he say? What did Mitch say?
No, let me see if I can remember exactly, word for word. He said, Jimmy, she's beautiful. Got imagination? And if you don't marry her right away, you'll be bald.
I don't believe Mitch said that.
Well, I guess he said I hadn't lost my hair yet, but I might.
What else?
Oh, he said there were only 2 people in all of history who didn't get married, William the Conqueror and Grover Cleveland.
There were more than that.
Well, not that anybody remembers.
Jimmy, I think you only heard what you wanted to hear.
Well, maybe. I'll tell you this, though. Mitch completely approves of marriage. His family's been doing it for generations.
Then I wonder why Mitch is still a bachelor. I wonder why he never got married.
I don't know.
He was in love once, when he was in college.
He was?
I'm sure of it. They were undergraduates, just like us. They'd been going together for a long time.
19 months and 3 weeks.
And Mitch loved her, and she loved him, and there was no happiness for them except when they were together.
Yeah.
And they wanted to get married more than anything in the whole world.
Yeah.
But they decided to be sensible. An old professor on the campus told them to wait, not to get married until after graduation, so they didn't do it. They started to drift apart.
No.
Yes. She started having dates with upperclassmen, and a wall began to rise up between them.
No.
He fought against it. Mitch fought against it and struggled. But it was a losing battle. He had his opportunity, and he let it slip by. And he lost the one great love of his life.
No, I hate myself.
Poor Mitch. And he doesn't want the same thing to happen to us. He doesn't want us to repeat the tragedy of his life.
Jan, we gotta get married. Now, right now. We can't wait till after I graduate. It's too risky.
Well, Jimmy, how about my scholarship? It's only for single women.
Well, nobody will know we're married. We can keep it quiet.
Oh, there isn't time, Jimmy, with all my dorm activities and working after school and classes and Winchakowitz.
What about Winchakowitz?
Well, he's got to pass Spanish. And it takes so long to get the words through to him.
Well, let somebody else get the words through to him.
Oh, but I'm proud to help him. He's the greatest passing wizard in football history.
Yeah, just so he makes his passes on the football field.
Nothing like that. I'm helping Winchakowitz because I like him.
How can you like a guy who hasn't got a vowel in his whole name?
Oh, Jimmy, I don't like to fight with you.
Well, if we got married, we wouldn't have anything to fight about.
Oh, Jimmy, wouldn't it be wonderful to be married?
I'll love you all my life, Jan. Honest, I will. I guess you must love me, too, or you wouldn't have put up with me for 19 months and 3 weeks.
Oh, I do, Jimmy. I love you very much.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. I love you very, very, very much.
Why?
What?
Why do you love me? Analyze it. Dissect it.
Well, you can't put romance through a meat slicer. Why do you love me?
Oh, of course you're so homely and old and bad-tempered and dumb.
Flattery will get you no place, Mr. Lewis. Jimmy, are we being awfully foolish talking like this?
No. Mitch said we'd know it when the right time came, and this is the right time. I know. I can feel it.
Well, how do you go about getting married?
Well, it can't be terribly difficult. People with no education whatsoever do it every day.
You've got to get a church.
Well, not necessarily. In the movies, it's usually done by a justice of the peace.
Yes. An old man with snow white hair. You wake him up in the middle of the night and he comes downstairs in his bathrobe.
When will we do it?
Well, I've got classes all day tomorrow and I've got to work in the library in the evening.
Yeah, Wednesday I got band practice. How about Thursday?
Lab. And there's a dorm committee meeting.
Well, I've got chapter meeting at the fraternity house.
Friday I tutor Winchakowitz.
That settles it. Jan, we've got 2 hours now. We may not get another 2 hours off until Christmas vacation.
Do it right now? Before dinner?
Well, sure, we can drive up to Centerville and find a justice of the peace and polish the whole thing off in one afternoon.
Don't you have to get ready? A girl's got to get ready.
Well, why? What for? Well, you look better in a sweater and a skirt than any other girl looks in lace and diamonds.
Well, what do we tell people?
Well, we won't.
Oh, wait a minute. You've never proposed to me.
Yes, I have.
Not really saying the words exactly.
Will you marry me?
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Oh, Wait a minute.
Oh, what's the matter?
Well, maybe I'm not good enough for you.
Oh, Jimmy. Oh, you're the best person in the world, and I think you're wonderful and handsome.
Okay, I'm sore. Let's go. Gee, I hope he's home.
Maybe he doesn't marry people in the daytime.
Hello.
We want to see the Justice of the Peace.
Can I help you?
Is he home?
I'm the Justice of the Peace.
Oh.
Well, what's the matter?
Well, we expected somebody more,
More grandfatherly.
Well, come back in about 40 years.
We can't wait. We want to get married.
Oh, dear.
What's the matter?
Oh, gosh, I forgot. I've got to marry people, too, don't I? Confidentially, I'm a little new at this job. I just got elected. Never had to perform one of these things before. Well, come on in, kids. We'll take a whack at it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Now, let me see. I've got a book on this someplace. Tells everything you have to do. Now, let me see. What did I do with it? Oh, here it is. Manual for Justices of the Peace. Now, let's see the index. Baptismal records, fishing licenses, horse registrations. That's not it.
Guess not.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Civil wedding ceremony. Know all men by these presents that, you've got to stand up here, right here in front of me. Now, let's see. I've seen them do this in the movies. The girl is supposed to be on the it doesn't make any difference. Ready? Know all men by these presents that, what's your name?
James E. Lewis, Jr.
Janet Shaw.
Uh-huh. I guess I'd better jot those names down someplace, huh? Janet Shaw. All right. Know all men by these presents that James E. Lewis, Jr. and Janet Shaw, having duly registered their intention to... Duly registered. I suppose I ought to see your license.
License?
Well, your marriage license.
We thought you did all that.
Oh, no, I don't do that. I don't think. No. You've got to get your license down at City Hall.
Are they still open?
Oh, you ought to be able to get down there before the office closes. Oh, now, let me see. Now, after you get the license, there's a waiting period of 48 days.
48 days?
Oh, no. That's North Dakota. Oh, God. Well, what do you know? There isn't any waiting period in this state.
Well, then after we get the license, we can come right back here and you can marry us.
I suppose so. I'll be practicing up while you're gone.
Bye.
So long. How do you feel?
Gee, I feel like we're doing something sort of drastic. Well, Jimmy, we don't have a place to live, and you don't have a job, and your folks are going to be furious, and so are mine, and I may lose my scholarship, and you may be expelled.
Isn't that just like a woman getting all worried over nothing? What, do you realize, Jan, we're practically half married?
Closer to an 8th or a 16th. But, Jimmy, it's wonderful to be even a 16th married to you.
For the young and heart of all ages, here's a way to keep your future as bright as today. Make a promise to yourself right now to protect your future. The safest, surest way to protect that future is to invest in United States savings bonds. Yes, United States savings bonds are guaranteed safe. They can be lost, stolen, or destroyed, and your government will replace them without charge. For every $3 you invest, you get back 4 in just 10 years. But most important, savings bonds are the convenient way to save, for they're automatic savings. Simply buy them on the payroll plan. If you're not on a payroll, then use the bond-a-month plan where you bank. Buy United States savings bonds today. And now back to Janet and Jimmy and the second act of Young Love.
Don't be 1/16th married. Be all married. Our City Hall offers a complete line of marriage licenses for both men and women. No wedlock is complete without one.
Don't lose it.
I've never lost a marriage license yet.
Yes?
We got it.
Fine. Come on in.
Oh, here's the license.
So this is what they look like. Well, let's go on from where we left off. Now, stand up right here, just like you did before. Hey, what's that you're carrying?
A geranium.
Hot.
What's it for?
Well, we couldn't find a flower shop, so we stopped and got this at a nursery. It was all they had, except for lawn seed and fertilizer.
And a girl's got to have flowers for a wedding.
Well, just be careful where you throw your bridal bouquet. All right, now let's have another whirl at it, huh? Know all men by these presents that James E. Lewis, Jr. and Janet Shaw, having duly registered their intention to unite in wedlock, herewith give and pledge their troth before these witnesses. Oh, dear, we've stubbed our toe again.
You're a witness.
Oh, no, I don't think so. No, I'm the officiating civil authority. What?
Well, in the movies, the justice of the peace always has his wife to be the witness.
Yes. Have your wife come down the stairs in her bathrobe.
It's 4:15 in the afternoon, and I'm not married.
Who'll we get?
Mitch?
Yeah, Mitch. We'll get back to the campus and get a witness. We'll be back just as fast as we can, and you can finish the ceremony.
I'll keep my finger on the place.
Oh, and would you mind holding my geranium?
What?
But, Mitch, who else would we ask to be the witness at our wedding? You see, we want you to share our happiness always, to be a part of our home.
I'll be the only piece of furniture you've got. Look, kids, do you realize what you're getting into? You've got no place to live, no income of your own, no way to take on the responsibilities of marriage. Besides, Einstein, you're a sophomore and she's a junior.
Well, I'm older.
Yeah, but she's brighter. Why all this rush? Why do it now?
Well, we had 2 hours.
What would happen to this country if everybody who had 2 hours got married?
Mitch, you can't talk us out of it. Jan and I love each other, and we're bound to get married sooner or later.
And we just decided to do it sooner.
We've got the license, and we need you to help us finish the job.
If we don't go through with it, it'll be an awful disappointment to the justice of the peace.
And we gotta hurry. The 2 hours are almost up.
Kids, I think it's only fair to tell you that in marriage there are things that, well, I don't know exactly how to put it. After the ceremony's over, it's the usual custom. One of the main reasons for getting married is, well, the whole thing takes longer than 2 hours.
Well, I suppose we can get somebody else for a witness.
A complete stranger off the streets.
Yeah.
Are you bound and determined to do this?
Nothing's gonna stop us.
Nothing.
All right. I'll be your witness. I'll be best man, head usher, maid of honor, and I'll give the bride away. Only heaven protect me if the Board of Governors ever finds out. Let's go.
Well, here we go again. Know all men by these presents that James E. Lewis, Jr. and Janet Shaw, having duly registered their intention to unite in wedlock, herewith give and pledge their troth before these witnesses, each to the other.
Hold my hand, Jimmy.
Yeah.
To have and to hold from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish till death do them part. If any person objects to the solemnization of this marriage, let him speak now or forever hold his peace. Do you, James, take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife?
Yeah, I do.
Do you, Janet, take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband?
I do.
I now pronounce you man and wife.
Well, Einstein, kiss the missus.
Oh, gee.
Well, it looks like it took.
Well, pay the man and let's get going.
How much do you charge for a wedding?
Well, I've always heard that the price was $2. But I think I ought to get something for overtime.
I've always dreamed of the day when I'd be married and be sitting with my wonderful husband, and the two of us would look in each other's eyes and we'd dine together for the first time.
Yeah.
It's too bad Mitch couldn't join us for our wedding dinner.
Oh, it's more romantic to be alone.
What'll it be, chumps?
A peanut butter sandwich and a Coke.
How about you, buddy?
I better have a hamburger and a Coke.
Coming up.
Jimmy, from now until the day I die, I'm going to feel romantic about Rexall.
Are you happy, Mrs. Lewis?
I'm the happiest Mrs. Lewis in the world.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, what's the matter, Jimmy?
I don't know if I've got enough to pay for this. Between the license and the justice of the peace, I've spent almost all my allowance. Here, let's see. 75, 89 cents.
Jimmy, put away your money. It's the bride's responsibility to pay for the wedding dinner.
Then I'm going to buy you something, a wedding gift.
Oh, no, Jimmy.
What do you want? Some perfume, jewelry, diamonds?
I've got everything I want. Oh.
And what is it?
Over there. Between the toothbrushes and the bathing caps.
The teddy bear?
Doesn't he look cute? All white and soft with a ribbon around his neck. And his eyes look sort of mad. He's a real toughie.
He looks like he's going to haul off and sock somebody. Hey, excuse me.
Well, Jimmy, where are you going?
I'll be right back. Miss.
Yes?
Miss, how much is this?
The teddy bear, I believe it's 89 cents, including the tax.
Oh, I happen to have the exact change. Oh, don't bother to wrap him up. I'll take him just like that. I'd like to have you meet my wife. Mrs. Lewis, may I present Tuffy?
Hello, Mr. Tuffy. Oh, he's wonderful. Jimmy, how much did he cost?
Oh, take him. With all my worldly goods, I thee endow.
Oh, Tuffy, you're going to be our household god. Except you're going to have to wait a while before we get a household.
Does Tuffy want a Coke?
Oh, no, No, he doesn't want a thing.
Yeah, he can't afford it.
Yeah, well, if you'll come back from Toyland for a minute, you'll notice your food's here.
Oh, thanks.
This is a very nice peanut butter sandwich, Jimmy. It's the prettiest peanut butter sandwich I've ever seen. It's a beautiful night.
Yeah.
Look at all the stars.
Yeah?
That's Arcturus.
I'm glad.
The Sigma Chi's are out serenading tonight.
Yeah, they pledged a new tenor. Jan, where are we going?
I don't know.
Oh, where are we walking to?
I've got to be back at the dorm by 10 o'clock.
Oh, but we ought to be... do you have to go back to the dorm?
I'll be expelled if I don't.
Oh, we could explain to the dorm supervisor how it is.
I don't think Mrs. Gilly would understand.
Yeah, there wouldn't be very much privacy at the fraternity house. Oh, Jan. Jan, are we crazy? Is this an awful thing we've done?
Sure. Well, it's crazy, I guess, but if people got married because it was logical and sensible, nobody'd ever get married. You do what you have to do because you're in love. It's crazy, but it's right. Well, here's the dorm.
You have to go in?
It's almost 10. Jimmy, you take Tuffy.
Oh, no, I can't.
You don't like him.
Oh, sure I do, honey, but I'm afraid the guys at the fraternity house might not understand. You stay with her, Tuffy. Watch over her and take care of her. And if she gets lonely, tell her I love her.
Good night, Jimmy.
Good night, Mrs. Lewis.
Jimmy, this is a fine time to get back to the fraternity. Where you been all day?
Oh, around.
Hey, you look sick. Anything happen?
No, not a thing.
Oh, we've been looking all over for you. You got a long-distance phone call from Cleveland. Operator 13.
Oh, I'll take care of it right away.
Where you going?
Call operator 13.
From a stall shower?
I guess I wasn't thinking.
Einstein, pull yourself together. I think it's your old man. Hey, you're not in trouble, are you, Jim?
Not yet, but I can feel it coming.
Long distance.
Operator 13.
This is operator 13.
Well, do you have a call from Cleveland for Jimmy Lewis?
WH on the line. I'll put you right through.
Oh, I'd feel better if it weren't operator 13.
Boy, you look terrible.
I've aged.
Since lunch?
Ready with your party.
Hello, James.
Oh, hi, Dad.
Hey, son, I've got a surprise for you. Daughter of one of my clients coming down to your school for the weekend. I want you to show her a fine time.
Dad.
You take her out. Paint the town. I'll pay for it.
Dad,
It's very important to me. A big client. You'll like the girl, too. Got nice teeth.
Well, is that all?
Yeah, her name's Redable. Esther Redable. She's getting in tonight.
Well, Dad, I can't do it. I'm not going with girls.
What?
I mean, I'm only going with one girl.
Yeah, that's right, Esther Radiball. Get right over to the station and meet her, the Buckeye Limited.
Not tonight, Dad. Any night but tonight.
Well, what's wrong, boy? Why not?
Well, Dad, I've got something awful important to tell you. I hope you and Mom won't be mad at me.
Well, what is it?
Well, Dad, I'm...
Yes?
I'm...
Well, what?
I'm on my way to meet Esther Radiball.
You're listening to the new CBS college story, Young Love. We're going back to the campus of Midwestern University in just a moment. But first, may we remind you to protect the things you own with United States savings bonds. Savings bonds are automatic savings, guaranteed savings. Join the part payment payroll saving plan where you work. Or if you are self-employed, use the automatic bond-a-month plan at your bank. If you can't participate in a regular plan, buy an extra bond now at any bank or post office. Save with safety. If your bonds are lost, stolen, or destroyed, they're replaced without charge. So don't delay. Your own future, your country's future, can't wait. Buy United States savings bonds. And now back to Midwestern University.
Members of the faculty committee, statistics show that marriages among undergraduates is not conducive to the highest academic attainments. Therefore, we're forming a special faculty committee to curb marriage on the campus at Midwestern. Professor Mitchell.
Yes?
Because of your rather unique relationship with the members of the student body, I'm appointing you as chairman of this committee to discourage marriage. Will you take the chair?
Fellow faculty members, I deserve the chair.
You'll hear Young Love, the new CBS college story, every week at this time, starring Jimmy Lydon and Janet Waldo, with John Heaston, Gil Stratton Jr., Jerry Hausner, Frank Nelson, Gloria Holliday, and Ed Max. The Judd Conlon choristers and the music of Elliot Daniel, conducted by Wilbur Hatch. Young Love is written and directed by Lawrence and Lee. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Arthur Godfrey, who usually comes around with his talent scouts about this time on Monday, is off on a summer holiday. He'll be back with us 6 weeks from tonight on August 29th.
Love is simple, perfectly simple. Boy meets girl, girl meets boy, then, come to think about it, it's pretty darn complicated. This is a program about love. I love you truly. No, not that kind. Young love.
Oh! Julie dear,
Welcome to Young Love, starring Janet Waldo and Jimmy Lydon, with John Heaston, the Judd Conlon choristers, and Wilbur Hatch and his orchestra.
I love you truly, 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 so truly dear.
Hi, Mitch.
Hi, Jan. How's your love life?
Don't tell anybody, but I'm still married to the same fella.
After 2 whole weeks? It could never happen in Hollywood.
See you later.
Bye, Jan.
Oh, hello, Professor Mitchell.
Hello, Dreamboat. What a moonlight cruise she'll make someday.
Hiya, Mitch.
Hi, Larry. Hey, you just forgot an old Midwestern tradition.
Huh?
What's the idea of walking past the founder's statue without tossing a penny in his hat?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mitch. There. Hey, I wonder what they do with those pennies.
They pay the faculty. What am I laughing at? Well, there's a typical scene outdoors on our campus. Now, how would you like to take a look indoors? You know, we have a few classes here, too. Let's go in the journalism building and catch one of the lectures. Well, so much for art in journalism. Sometimes we think of art as something
See that good-looking, personable, well-groomed, young professor on the podium? That's the most popular professor on the campus. Me.
Who were the great artists of poetry? Shakespeare? Browning? Shelley?
Oh, Mitchell, you're hot as a pistol.
They were just the good songsmiths of their time.
Listen to that kid ad lib.
Their modern-day counterparts are Oscar Hammerstein and Johnny Mercer and Nature Boy.
I tell you, I'm the Georgie Jessel of the journalism school.
Wait a minute, students. Wait a minute. Hold it. The junior class has asked me to remind you that there are still tickets available for the annual Sweetheart Dance Saturday night. Dismissed.
Mitch.
Oh, hi, Jimmy.
Mitch, I'm in trouble.
Well, that's a fairly normal condition in your life, Einstein. What's the problem this time?
Well, it's pretty rough being secretly married. Everybody on the campus wants a date with my wife because she's so doggone beautiful.
Maybe you could ugly her up a little.
Oh, I wouldn't change a thing about Janet. She's perfect.
She probably feels the same way about you.
Well, she does. She's crazy. I'm a slob.
I don't suppose you could tell everybody the truth.
Oh, Janet'd lose her scholarship, and my dad'd send me someplace like Siberia.
Got good schools out there. By the way, I have an idea. Why don't you two announce your engagement?
Announce my engagement? To my wife?
Well, I'll admit it's backwards. First you're married, then you're engaged. Someday you may even get to be good friends.
Hey, we could announce it at the Sweetheart Dance.
Sure. That way you could let the whole student body know that she's took.
Only nobody'll know exactly how took she is. Larry, even though you're my roommate, I can't let you have a date with with my girl, Jan.
Well, it's a free country. Who are you, Mussolini or something?
Larry, I'm going to let you in on a secret. Jan and I are planning to announce our engagement.
No.
Yeah, at the dance Saturday night.
I hope you're kidding.
Well, why should I kid about a serious thing like that?
Well, you don't think for 1 minute that you and Janet would ever be happy together.
Well, why not?
Well, you're completely different. She's beautiful and smart and talented and attractive. And you're...
Yeah?
Well, you're completely different.
Thanks. Have you ever heard that opposites attract?
Well, I've heard that. And boy, it sure is true in your case.
Don't try to discourage me.
Gee, I had no idea that you and Jan were getting so thick.
Larry, no matter how thick you think we've been getting, we're even thicker than you think we've been getting thicker than.
Yeah. Well, I'll be a sport. Congratulations, pal. I hope you accomplish the impossible.
Larry, sometimes I think you don't have a very high idea of me.
To be perfectly frank, if I was a girl, you're the last person in the world I'd think of marrying.
If you were a girl, you'd better grab anything you could get.
Hey, Einstein, in all this romantic excitement, I forgot to tell you. There's a telegram for you.
Oh, no.
Well, it might be good news.
It might be, but it never is.
Well, go ahead, open it. Well, what's it say? Jimmy, what you looking like that for? Was there an accident? Your dad lost all his money? Somebody died?
Oh, worse than that. Worse than any of those things. I gotta go and see Jan right away. Jan, I've got some news for you.
I beat you to it. I just bumped into Mitch and he told me all about it.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's a sweet, wonderful idea to announce our engagement. I'm almost as excited as when we got married.
Jan, that isn't exactly the news I was going to tell you.
And I think it's just darling to announce it at the Sweetheart Dance.
Jan, you're going to hate me.
Just before we're engaged? Don't be silly.
You're going to loathe and detest me.
Jimmy, engaged people always love each other. Loathing and detesting is strictly for old married people.
We're that, too.
Oh, I can't wait until Saturday night. The engagement ceremony is always so touching and picturesque.
Yes,
The candlelight and the serenading, and the way they put the veil of invisibility and the cloak of mystery on the girl,
Well,
and the pinning ceremony, and the way every guy at the dance gets to waltz once around the floor with the engagee.
Honey.
I'll be the happiest engagee in the world Saturday night.
Honey, even before we get engaged, we've got to get disengaged.
Why?
Oh, look at this telegram I just got from my dad.
Postponed trip of daughter of important client finally all set. Esther Radabaugh arriving there Saturday on Buckeye Limited. Take her to dance and show her a bully time. Jimmy, this is awful. Pretend you're sick.
Finish reading the telegram.
And don't pretend you're sick like you did last time. Love, Dad.
How can he sign a telegram like that? Love, Dad.
Well, you've got to tell him you won't do it.
Oh, you don't know my dad.
Just put your foot down. Tell him no.
Honey, you just don't put your foot down on my father. In our family, he has the exclusive rights to the word no.
Why would your dad do a thing like this to you?
Well, you see, my dad has all these clients, and they have all these daughters.
What if Esther Radabaugh is ravishingly beautiful?
How can anybody be ravishing with a name like Esther Radabaugh?
Judy Garland's real name is Frances Gum.
What am I going to do? Is there an easy way to break a leg?
I guess you'll just have to go to the sweetheart dance with Esther Radabaugh.
Well, a man can't stand up his own wife.
Jimmy, don't worry about it. Esther Radabaugh might be a real nice girl. And the two of you could have a wonderful time.
Well, how can you be so darn nice about it? Be mad, get furious, throw something at me.
But I'm not mad at you, Jimmy. It's nothing you can help.
Isn't that just like a woman? If it was a little thing, she'd raise the roof. But when I have to be a real schnook, she acts like Joan of Arc.
Sit down, Larry.
Mitch, I know why you've called me into your office. It was that essay I turned in.
Which essay? Oh, that essay.
I know you're going to say I didn't write it. Well, I've only got one answer for you. I didn't.
Oh?
I admit it. I didn't write a word of it. I got busy, so I went to a very close friend of mine and hired him to write it for me.
A very close friend, huh?
Yeah.
I didn't know you were so chummy with Ralph Waldo Emerson.
You mean that essay was stolen from Emerson? I'm going to murder the guy I bought it from, the dirty crook.
Well, at least get your money back. But, Larry, that's not why I called you in. Now, I believe you're pretty close to Jimmy and Jan, aren't you?
Well, I'm a little too close to Jimmy and not quite close enough to Jan.
Larry, tell me something about Jimmy and Jan. Do you know anything secret about the two of them?
Yeah.
What?
They're about to get engaged.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I heard the same rumor. Now, you know how much I think of those kids. Tell me, isn't there some kind of fancy ceremony that the fraternities whip up for engagements at the sweetheart dance?
Oh, yeah. It's a very impressive mishmash. Candlelight and everybody singing themselves hoarse. They throw a big veil over the dame and everybody dances with her. It's a big opera.
I didn't know you had that sentimental streak. Well, look, Larry, I want these two kids to get the full treatment of the sweetheart dance. The works. Tell the gang to make this the loveliest and most impressive engagement ceremony they ever put on.
Don't worry, Mitch, we're with you. I'll pass the word to the whole campus. When Jimmy and his date walk through that door into the dance Saturday night, we'll make it the most unforgettable night of their lives.
Between
Maniacs of young love, here's a young type suggestion. For fun in the daylight hours, there's a lot of it here each weekday, Monday through Friday. A fellow by the name of Arthur Godfrey does a program. Red-headed, completely uninhibited fella, reads commercials backwards, that sort of thing. Somehow makes a lot of sense, too. He also has a good band and some fine singers along. Lad by the name of Bill Lawrence sings. So do some other lads, call themselves the Mariners. Godfrey's show breezes along for 75 minutes every day on most of these CBS stations. It's better than air conditioning. Now back to Jan and Jimmy and the second act of Young Love.
Down by the station early in the evening, see the little sophomore looking so forlorn. Down by the station early in the evening, down by the station early in the evening, see the little sophomore looking so forlorn.
Buckeye Limited arriving on track number 1. Train is the Buckeye Limited.
Maybe she missed the train. Maybe she got sick. Maybe they dropped her off with the mail bags at Bucyrus.
Excuse me. I'm looking for a young man named James E. Lewis, Jr.
I'm Jimmy Lewis.
I just knew you were he.
Esther Radabaugh, I presume?
How did you recognize me?
My father told me you had nice teeth.
They're my outstanding feature.
Yes, they certainly are. I'd recognize your teeth a mile away.
Oh, it was very gracious of you to insist that I come down for the sweetheart dance. Oh, your father just said that you insisted and insisted, so I couldn't disappoint you, although it was necessary for me to cancel several previous engagements.
Well, I had to cancel an engagement myself.
Now, I'll bet you thought I was going to be an old stick in the mud. I know what you boys expect on blind dates, and I'll bet you really got a shock when you saw me.
I'm still tingling.
Oh, what you said. Now, of course, I know I'm not glamorous in the conventional way. I made up my mind a long time ago not to try to compete with the Betty Grables and the Hetty Lamars.
Well, that was probably a wise decision.
You know, James, your father and my father are such good friends that I have a sneaking suspicion you and I are going to get along like two peas in a pod.
I hope it's a very large pod.
All the way down on the train, I was nervous for fear you wouldn't be my type, but do you want to know something confidentially? The minute I saw you, I knew you were just exactly my type.
Well, when you get to know me better, I can be quite objectionable.
Oh, I'll never believe it. We're simpatico. Our vibrations just meet and mingle. We're right on the same wavelength. What are you?
What am I, what?
What's your sign? I'll bet just anything you're Pisces, the fish.
I feel a little like one tonight.
Oh, I bet you can't guess what I am. Taurus, the bull. And you know what a Pisces always does to a Taurus.
I can imagine.
Oh, don't fight it. It's useless, James. If the stars are drawing us together, just relax and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Now you have to tell me, what should I wear to the dance?
Oh, a dress?
Do you like a bare midriff on girls?
Well, better than on boys.
I think I'll surprise you.
Well, I'm prepared for anything. Well, can I take you to your hotel?
Oh, thank you, James. I would like to pretty up a little.
At the dorm, I thought you'd be with Esther Radabaugh.
Oh, she's prettying up at the Eagle House.
Is she a nice girl?
Well, she's a girl. Oh, Jan, I feel like Benedict Arnold.
Oh, it's not you, Jimmy. It's your father.
Well, if I was my father and he was me and he was secretly married to you and I sent her down for him to take out instead of you, well, I'll bet he wouldn't do it for me. To you. With her?
I understand.
Well, you one up on me. I don't have the slightest idea what I'm talking about.
Jimmy, look, I don't mind not going to that old dance. Of course, the engagement ceremony would have been sort of fun, but we can do it next year. Besides, I have a lot of assignments to catch up on, and I've got to clean out my closet, and I've got Tuffy.
What kind of a husband am I? Leaving my wife with a teddy bear on the night of the sweetheart dance.
I won't have you insult Tuffy. He's the only teddy bear my husband ever gave me.
Oh, Jim.
Furthermore, he's very cuddly, and he dances almost as well as you do.
This I can believe.
Oh, Jimmy, I don't want you to feel sorry for me, not for 1 minute. Of course, I'd like to be with you tonight, but it just can't be helped. Besides, Esther Radabaugh only has you for 3 hours, and I've got you for all my life.
Jan, I'll have a lousy time.
Don't have a lousy time. But if you like Esther Radabaugh better than me, I'll be mad.
If I liked Esther Radabaugh better than you, I'd be off my rocker.
You didn't say anything about the way I look.
You look very pretty, Esther.
Do you really think so? Really?
Oh, yeah, sure.
It's my opinion that true beauty is hidden deep on the inside of a person.
Well, it's nice to have a little sneak out.
I bet you planned this so we'd have this long walk across the campus by ourselves. In the dark.
Esther, I want to be frank with you. I like you best in the dark.
Oh, you romantic.
Oh, that's the gym where the music's coming from.
Is it a name band?
Well, quite a few people have heard of Freddie Schwartz. He's pretty big in Central Ohio.
Freddie Schwartz?
You know, everybody cavorts with Freddie Schwartz.
Oh, I think I've heard of him. Oh, listen to what they're playing. Some enchanted evening you may meet a stranger. Oh, do you know who I am? I'm your stranger. From now on, this is going to be our song. Oh, one thing. Now, about dancing. I've been taking lessons. And I want to know right off the bat, are you the step, step, slide type of dancer? Or do you prefer slide, slide, step?
Well, Esther, I'll leave it pretty much up to you. When you want to slide, and I'll just slide along with you.
Oh, you're such a gentleman.
Well, we may as well go in.
Oh, before we do, while we're still out here in the dark, I wonder if you don't feel an overpowering urge to say something to me, like 3 little words?
What I have an urge to say to you, Esther, is better left unsaid.
Well, I want you to know, I'm not going to play cat and mouse with you. A long time ago, I made up my mind that if ever a man said to me, I love you, I'd follow that man to the ends of the earth. I'm just that loyal.
I can believe it. Loyalty sticks out all over you.
Hey, is that you, Jimmy?
Yeah.
They're here. Lights out, everybody.
Ow! What are you doing to me?
It's only the cloak of mystery and the veil of invisibility.
Now, wait a minute. Larry.
Don't worry about a thing, Jim. The whole campus is here to help you celebrate your engagement.
Engagement? Oh!
Light up your candles, everybody. Jimmy, we're going to make sure this is one romance that lasts.
Larry.
We're going to see to it that you two sweethearts really stick. Okay, gang, serenade!
Oh, Larry, you don't know what you're doing.
Shut up, you dope. You're lousing up the whole ceremony.
Oh, listen listen, everybody. I have a very important announcement to make.
I could just cry.
Now, where's your sentiment? You don't make the announcement anyway. That's for the president of the Women's Panhellenic Society. Go ahead, Doris.
Oh, fellow Panhellenes, it is most appropriate at this sweetheart dance that we joyfully reenact the ceremony of betrothal.
Madam President,
the friendships made beneath the hallowed elms and ivy of our beloved alma mater are cherished through the years and often blossom into sentiments even more abiding and fruitful.
I would like to say that...
How about a little reverence?
James Lewis, these flowers are for the girl beneath the veil, whose identity is known only to you. Roses for remembrance, lilies for love, forget-me-nots for loyalty.
Loyalty?
Now, old friend, as part of the official ceremony of betrothal, we ask but one boon.
Larry,
Each of us desires one waltz around the floor with your chosen one before you claim her forever as your partner in the dance of life.
Waltz, that's step, step, slide, isn't it?
Fellow students, I'd like to explain that... I gotta tell you, Larry, Mitch, somebody listen to me!
Wish I was inside there, watching that ceremony. Those two kids must be getting the thrill of their lives.
Gee.
Who's that?
Oh, hello, Mitch.
Jan.
Did you come over here to listen to the music?
Jan, what are you doing out here?
I was lonesome at the dorm, so I thought I'd just walk over.
But if you're out here, who's that in there getting engaged to your husband?
Getting engaged?
Yeah.
Esther Radabaugh? That siren! She wouldn't dare!
Well, they're going through the whole engagement ceremony, candlelight and everything.
You know what that is? It's bigamy!
Oh, it never occurred to me that your own husband wouldn't take his own wife to the sweetheart dance.
Mitch, we've got to rescue him.
Oh, I got him into this. I'll get him out somehow. Oh, me and my big fat sentiment.
Whirling. Oh, my. Waltzing makes me so giddy.
Now, fellow students, the climax of the engagement ceremony, the pinning and the unveiling of the girl.
Stop!
Who is that?
This can't go on. I refuse to let this engagement ceremony continue.
Mitch!
What happened? Why not?
Well, I love this girl.
Mitch, you're a pal.
You love me?
Passionately.
Take this veil. I'll follow you to the ends of the earth.
Oh,
We'll rejoin Jan and Jimmy in just a moment. Abe Burrows, known as the Hairless Hildegard, will have the lovely Hildegard herself on his Breakfast with Burrows program tonight. Abe gets up so late he has to have breakfast at night, but with Hildegard as a guest. Breakfast with Burrows will be right on time this Monday night, following the latest hilarious adventure of Joan Davis in her new department store job. Breakfast with Burrows and Leave It to Joan Davis, of course, are Monday night features on most of these same CBS stations, while Lux Radio Theater is on a summer vacation. Leave It to Joan follows in a few moments over most of these stations. Now, back to the campus of Midwestern University.
Jan. Honey. Oh, say something. Speak to me. Don't keep looking at me with that icy stare.
Esther Radabaugh.
What have I done? I didn't even get engaged to her.
Esther Radabaugh.
Oh, all the time she was here, you acted like Joan of Arc. Now she's gone, you treat me like I had the Black Plague.
James E. Lewis, Jr., I hate you.
Why? Why are you mad at me?
I'm mad at you because Esther Radabaugh had a good time.
Oh, it's not my fault. I tried to make her as miserable as I was.
What if your dad sends her down again?
Well...
Jimmy, you've got to educate your folks. Parents shouldn't get their own way all the time. You'll spoil them.
Look, honey, Esther Radabaugh's back in Cleveland. Mitch put her on the train himself.
How did he ever get rid of her?
Oh, he told her how much money he makes a year.
Well, just so it never happens again, Jimmy. I won't have relatives meddling with our marriage just because they don't know about it.
Jan, are you out there?
What is it?
Telephone, long distance.
Oh, something awful must have happened. Oh, hello? Oh, hello, Mother. What's wrong? Who? You're what? But Mother, you can't. I don't care how eligible he is. Mother, hand-painted ties do not make a husband. He's already on his way, ties and all.
What happened?
Jonathan Shackleton III is coming down to have a date with me.
What?
Jimmy, now it's your turn to be Joan of Arc.
Young Love, the new CBS college story every week at this time, starring Jimmy Lydon and Janet Waldo, with John Heaston, Gil Stratton Jr., Elvia Ullman, Doris Singleton, your announcer Larry Thor, and the Judd Conlon choristers, the music of Elliot Daniels, conducted by Wilbur Hatch. Young Love is written and directed by Lawrence and Lee. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System. Arthur Godfrey, who usually comes around to his talent scouts about this time on Monday, is off on a summer holiday. He'll be back with us 4 weeks from tonight on August 29th.
Jimmy, do you think we'll be able to make our marriage work?
Well, somebody better work in this family. We're broke.
That's Janet and Jimmy, a very unusual married couple. They're in love.
I love you truly.
Not quite so long hair, boys. This is Young Love.
Oh. Truly, dear.
Welcome to the new college story, Young Love, starring Janet Waldo and Jimmy Lydon, with John Heaston, the Judd Conlon choristers, and Wilbur Hatch and his orchestra.
I love you truly, 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 so truly, dear.
Hey, Jan, my dad's coming down to the campus this weekend.
No.
Yeah, it's Alumni Day, and Dad never misses his class reunion.
Oh, I'm scared to meet him. Is he nice?
Well, as fathers go, I guess he's nice. My mother likes him.
When does he get here?
Well, his letter says Flight 29 Saturday morning.
Let's see his handwriting. Oh.
Well, what's the matter?
Your father makes O's just like Mussolini.
Huh?
Look, his O's lean backwards. And I read in a magazine once that Mussolini made his O's that way.
Yeah.
Hi, Jan, Jimmy. What you studying so hard?
Oh, hi, Professor Mitchell.
Hi, Mitch. We're analyzing my father's O's.
Oh, I should have known you wouldn't be concentrating that hard on a journalism assignment.
Mitch, I've got to meet my father-in-law this weekend, and how does a daughter-in-law act toward a father-in-law who doesn't know she's his daughter-in-law?
I don't know. It's been so long since I was a daughter-in-law.
Well, keeping our marriage a secret is a DGTP.
What's that, a new insecticide?
Mitch, you aren't up on the campus slang. A DGTP is a doggone tough proposition.
Oh, excuse me. Guess I'm old-fashioned. I still talk in words. Someday I'll have to take a course in this new jet-propelled grammar.
Mitch, you and Janet and I are the only people who know we're married.
Now, how about the Justice of the Peace who tied the knot?
Oh, he doesn't count. We'll never see him again.
Look, kids, suppose you told everybody you were married. Would the world come to an end?
Yep.
I'd lose my scholarship. It's only for single women. I'd have to leave school.
Hey, my dad would blow a gasket. He's very strict.
He makes O's like Mussolini.
Hey, I've got an idea. Jan, why don't you invite your dad down this weekend, too?
My dad?
Sure. You get both of your father-in-laws together on campus, see that they get to know each other, and maybe they'll be real buddies and pals.
Yeah, then we could spring it on him, maybe.
Who knows? Might do the trick.
I'll write Daddy today. Oh, Mitch, thanks for a swell idea.
Didn't you know all along I was a VCTP?
VCTP?
Very clever type professor.
Announcing the arrival of southbound flight number 29, now unloading at gate number 4.
Here they come.
Oh, what does your father look like?
Oh, I don't know. He just looks like an ordinary father.
Jimmy!
Oh, and there he is. Hello, Dad.
How are you, son? You're looking fit as a troop.
Oh, feel fine, Dad. I want you to meet a friend
How are
of
your
mine.
studies coming? Not flunking anything, huh?
Well, only astronomy.
Good.
Dad,
Never could see any use to astronomy anyhow.
oh, Dad, I want you to...
Say, it is good to get back to my old stamping ground again. Makes me feel like a college boy. Happiest days of my life were spent here, son. Let's lift again the
Dad.
foaming stein to old Midwestern.
Dad,
We are born.
Dad, this is Janet Shaw.
Who?
Janet Shaw.
Sure. I know some Shaws.
You do?
Is your family in natural gas?
I don't think so. Daddy's a railroad man.
Railroads. Thing of the past.
Did you have a nice flight, Dad?
Oh, beautiful flight. We went through 4 thunderstorms. Everybody on the plane got sick, and I was sitting next to a 10-week-old brat that bawled all the way. Only way to travel.
Well, we better go out in front and claim your luggage.
Ah, son, it certainly is good to get away from the office for a weekend. I tell you, I'm a martyr to the real estate business. A martyr. What's this girl following us for?
Well, she's with me. She's a friend of mine.
Do you mind?
No, you can tag along, kid, if you want to. James, they're throwing me to the lions. That's what they're doing. Did you ever hear of the Women's Civic Betterment League?
I don't think so.
I wish I'd never heard of them. Calling me a swindler. Trying to drive me out of business. Just because my new real estate development is a little bit swampy.
Oh. That's too bad.
Yeah, but they don't know the kind of a man they're up against. I have not yet begun to fight.
No. Take it easy, Dad. You're going to lick him.
You bet I am. Women's Civic Betterment League. Ah, this is just what I need to get out with the boys tonight. James, you're going to have dinner tonight at the Alpine Cave. By the way, do you remember June Plocher?
June Plocher?
Oh, she remembers you. Tubby Plocher's daughter. James here used to play house with her when he was just a mite.
Really?
Yeah, the little girl who lived next door to her.
Yeah, well, she's not such a little girl now. She asked extra special to be remembered to you, James. Ah, that girl sure has blossomed out. She's Tubby all over again. Folks have got money, too. What does your father do with the railroads, miss?
He was a dispatcher, but he's retired. And I weigh 105 pounds with my shoes on. Excuse me.
Jan!
I'll see you later.
Dad, you hurt her feelings.
What'd I say? Say, you aren't seriously interested in that girl, are you, James?
Well, I like her.
She's skinny. I tell you, son, find a girl you can hang on to. Like Tubby Proach's daughter. Why, if this girl turned sideways, you wouldn't even know she was there.
Yeah, but Dad...
What do you see in this girl?
Well, I think she's beautiful.
Not enough to her to be beautiful. She'd blow away in a stiff breeze. Find yourself a healthy girl. That's what you want? Health.
Janet is smart.
Smart? Uh-oh. Steer clear of the smart one, son. If there's one thing you don't want in a woman, it's brains.
Are you sure your dad will be on this train?
Well, I think so. The folks only got my letter yesterday, so there wasn't time for him to write back.
Well, what's your dad like?
He's nothing like your father. My dad is a gentleman.
Oh, well, you'll like my father when you get to know him. We'll have dinner tonight at the Alpine Cave. It's a real man's place, and your dad and my dad will get on fine.
Oh, Mother!
Mother?
Oh, my darling little Janet, how are you, baby?
It's so good to see you, and I'm so surprised.
I'll just bet you are.
What happened to Dad? He's not sick.
Oh, no, he had a lodge meeting tonight, and he just couldn't miss it. But I said to myself, we aren't going to disappoint our Janet. I'm going to come instead.
Oh, Mother, I'm so glad you did.
Who's this?
Mom, this is somebody I want you to meet.
I'll just bet this is the young man I've been hearing so much about. You don't have to introduce us. I feel as if I already know you.
You do?
I'm glad to meet you, Mr. Winchokovich.
My name is James E. Lewis, Jr.
Oh, well, I'm glad to meet any of Janet's friends. My, you're looking fine, dear. I believe you've put on a little weight.
I hope so.
Oh, well, you can carry it. But you don't want to get too fleshy, dear. Remember, the lean rats bury the fat ones.
May I carry your bag, Mrs. Shaw?
Why, thank you, Mr. Loomis.
Lewis, Mother. His name is Lewis.
Well, I should be able to remember that. It's such a common name.
Would you like to freshen up a little bit before we go over to the campus?
No, but I am tired from that train trip, and I wonder, could we stop and get a little, pick-me-up? Could we? Would you like something to drink, Mr. Lewis?
Sure, there's a place right near the station.
Oh, I just know I'd feel better once I get a good stiff drink inside of me.
Mother!
Oh, I'm not going to have it with any lemon or sugar or cream. I'm going to take my tea straight. Another cup of tea, Mr. Lucas?
Mother, Jimmy's name is Lewis. You've got to remember that. You have no idea how important it is.
Oh, yes, I do. I know that you two are thinking of each other as more than just casual acquaintances.
Yeah, we are.
But before two young people can think seriously about one another, we must know, are you right for each other? We must analyze it emotionally, psychologically, and by tea leaves.
By tea leaves?
Oh, you've no idea how coming events cast their tea leaves before. Now, let me have both your teacups.
Do you really believe in these things, Mrs. Shaw?
Oh, my, yes. I married Mr. Shaw entirely on account of his tea leaves. Oh, yeah, the darlingest tea leaves you ever saw. Cups, please. Now, let me see. What have we here? Oh, my. Ooh. Oh.
It's pretty interesting, huh?
I can read it like a printed page.
What does it say, Mother?
A warning. You two children could never possibly be married to each other.
Are you sure?
Your tea leaves are just lying there screaming, no, no, no!
Jan, I've got a very strong feeling we've made a mistake.
So have I, Jimmy. I'm afraid of what's going to happen when we bring your dad and my mother together at dinner tonight.
I feel like that time in chemistry lab when I mixed sodium hyposulfite with nitric acid.
What happened?
Don't do it.
Your dad's like a bull in a china shop.
Well, I wouldn't go bragging about your mother and her tea leaves.
Oh, she's not going to like the Alpine Cave, I can tell you that right now.
Hello.
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 Yeah, I've been looking all over for you.
You have?
Yeah, I've been asking everybody on the campus, where's the residence of Mr. and Mrs. James E. Lewis?
Oh, no.
And they just look at me as if I'm crazy.
Well, how did you, what?
Who are you?
Well, don't you remember, honey? I married you.
Huh?
You're the justice of the peace.
Oh, from Circleville.
I guess you didn't recognize me in these two-tone shoes. I'm, on vacation.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, I just came down to see how things were going. You see, you two are the first couple I ever married, and I wanted to see if it really took. Are you happy?
Yeah.
We're happy.
Still just the two of you. Oh, of course, there's just the two of you. After 4 weeks, I just wasn't thinking. It's silly, isn't it? Doesn't happen that fast with grasshoppers.
Well, it was nice of you to look us up.
Well, you know how I feel about you two? I feel, well, like a shopkeeper who just went into business and wants to make sure his first sale went over with a smash. You know, satisfied customers.
Oh, we're very satisfied with your work.
You like the way I tied the knot?
You have no idea the kind of knot you tied.
Well, I'm glad you got your $2 worth. Well, what are we going to do to celebrate?
Celebrate?
Well, you see, our parents are in town.
Oh, both your parents?
No, one each.
Oh, your father and his mother?
No.
Oh, your mother and her father?
No.
My mother and his father.
Oh, well, never mind. I'll get it straightened out at dinner.
Dinner?
You see, Jimmy's dad wants to eat at the Alpine Cave.
The Alpine Cave? Oh, I know just where that is. I'll meet you there.
Well, I'm not sure that we can.
No, I know exactly what you're trying to say. Now, I realize that a couple of newlyweds still in college don't have much money to throw around.
Well,
and just between you and me, a justice of the peace isn't exactly a Texas oil man. So this dinner is going to be Dutch.
Oh, but you don't understand.
No, I won't have it any other way. Dutch. When we have dinner tonight, it's going to be every man for himself.
Oh, brother.
We'll be back with Young Love in just a moment. Basil Rathbone, a CBS star in his own right, pays a visit to Take Breakfast with Burroughs later this evening on most of these CBS stations. Mr. Rathbone usually utilizes his wits to outwit the erring criminal. Mr. Burroughs utilizes his wits to write songs like The Girl with the Three Blue Eyes. It should be quite a battle of wits, as the public relations men would call it, on CBS later this evening. Breakfast with Burroughs is heard in part of the familiar Lux Radio Theater time and is so called because Mr. Burroughs gets up late. Now back to Jimmy and Jan and the second act of Young Love.
You and me, a little brown duck, don't I love thee? You and me, a little brown duck, don't I love thee?
This is the music you'll hear any night of the week at the Alpine Cave. You'll just love this restaurant if you've got a little Wiener Schnitzel in your soul.
Ho, ho, ho! Welcome to the Alpine Cave.
That guy with a feather in his cap and the knee pants is Hans Kobelmeister, jolly host and proprietor of the Alpine Cave.
Ho, ho, ho! I am Hans Kobelmeister, jolly host and proprietor of the Alpine Cave.
I already said that. The Alpine Cave is a little slice of old Switzerland in central Ohio.
The Alpine Cave is a little slice of old Switzerland in central Ohio.
All right, you tell it. I'm tired.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have enjoyed the singing and dancing of my Bavarian bell ringer.
Remember, everybody loves everybody when you are guest of Hans Grobelmeister, jolly host and proprietor of the Alpine Cave. Ho, ho, ho.
Just follow me right on down the steps. Come on, James. Well, Hans, how are you, Hans, you old son of a gun?
Welcome to the Alpine Cave.
I'll bet you're holding the best table in the house, Hans, for an old pal, huh?
How many, please?
Just the two of us.
Well, Dad...
This is my son, Hans. Chip off the old block.
Dad, Jan's meeting is here.
Oh, we gotta feed her? Well, I'll be a sport. Make that a table for three, Hans.
Well, Dad...
Well?
Jan's bringing somebody.
Another girl? A girl for your old dad? Well, aren't you the fixer, boy?
She's not exactly a girl. She's married.
Say, you going out with married women these days?
Could be.
Hello, Jimmy. I'm sorry we're late.
Oh, hi, Jan.
Mr. Lewis, I want you to meet my mother.
Mother. Ah. How do you do?
Mrs. Shaw, this is my father.
How do you do? Oh, what a dreadful place. I'm sure they don't wash their letters.
Would you like to sit down, or shall I serve you here in the doorway?
Yours to a table, Hans, old pal. Ah, there we are. This is fine.
Hello.
Hello.
I hope you haven't ordered yet.
No.
Oh, good. Then I haven't kept you waiting.
Who is this guy?
Well, I'm sure I don't know. I never saw him before in my life.
Folks, I guess we should explain
Now,
that,
don't you bother yourself with introductions. Let me guess. That's Mr. Shaw, and that's Mrs. Lewis.
I'm Mr. Lewis.
I'm Mrs. Shaw.
I'm Sam.
Sam.
Yeah, but don't you worry for a minute. I'm paying my own way.
Well, Dad, I don't know exactly how to
Is
put
this
this.
table ready to order?
You bet we are, Hans, old pal. Folks, I want you all to meet my old college buddy. This is Hans Kobelmeister, jolly host and proprietor of the Alpine Cave. Ho, ho, ho.
That's me.
Hans, remember the high old times we used to have back in the days when I was in school? This was the campus hangout even then, you know. Hans, old pal, remember the time we stuffed the pot roast in Beanie Wilson's mattress?
Mattress?
And the time we put the rubber cement in the dean's cauliflower? You remember, don't you, Hans? You remember?
No.
Well, those were the days. Now, what do you folks want to eat, eh?
May I recommend my Sauerbraten mit Kartoffelklößen? Oder der Knackwurst mit Schliegelgedumpf, ne? Oder the speciality of the house. Wiener Schnitzel à la Holstein.
You know what I feel like tonight? Cornflakes.
Anybody know what this fella's name is?
Well, not exactly, but I know this much. He's from Circleville.
That's a help. Hey, folks, why don't you let me order for all of us, huh? Specialties all round.
5 Wiener Schnitzels coming up.
Oh, Wiener Schnitzels. I'll break out all over.
Yes, sirree, I guess you folks must be pretty happy about what's happened.
Well, I suppose we're happy. What's happened?
Oh, as if you didn't know. But I want you folks to know that you're not one bit more proud than I am.
Proud schmout? What's this guy talking about?
I suppose you've all been reading about the devaluation of the British pound.
Well, the way I figure it, let those folks on the other side of the Atlantic take care of their money, and I'll take care of mine.
That's the kind of talk that leads to economic suicide.
Mother!
I don't know what's suicide about. It's the way I've run my business for years.
Dad.
What about the billions of dollars we're spending abroad?
Mother!
What about the billions of dollars we should be spending right here at home?
I never spent the $2.
You didn't?
I framed it.
Framed it?
It's right there on the wall of my office in Circleville, just as big as life.
Well, I suppose there's nothing wrong with that.
Janet.
Yes, Mother?
This man sitting next to me is as batty as a bedbug.
Marriage. I guess there just isn't anything like it.
Nobody's come up with a satisfactory substitute.
Yes, sirree. Don't you often wonder where we men would be without the women? Or where the women would be without the men? And you know, these two youngsters here, they're my first.
Your first what?
Oh, you don't know who I am. I'm the guy who did it. Yes, it was just 4 weeks ago today. Janet and Jim...
The food's here.
Is everybody as hungry as I am? I'm just starved. Aren't you starved, Mr. Lewis? I'll bet you're just famished, Mother. Aren't you just famished?
I'm rapidly losing my appetite.
Here it is. Here is a speciality of the house. Wiener Schnitzel à la Holstein à la Hans Koppelmeister. Charlie host and proprietor of the Alpine Cake. Ho, ho, ho.
Just smell that. Smell that aroma. I can just close my eyes and tell you that's the same dish I ate here in 1922.
I can just hold my nose and tell you I won't like it.
Mother, you shouldn't decide until you've tasted.
There are only 3 things in the world that I can't stand. Needlepoint, Parcheesi, and Wiener Schnitzel.
I like Parcheesi. Well, as I started to say before, it was just 4 weeks ago today that these two young people...
Your food's getting cold.
And Wiener Schnitzel's no good if it gets cold.
Well, if it's been sitting around here since 1922, a few more minutes won't hurt.
What's the matter?
I think there's a guppy in my water glass.
Mother, it's just a breadcrumb.
I don't think this place is sanitary, and I don't see a certificate on the wall anyplace that says this kitchen has been inspected by the state health authorities.
Who cares? You gotta eat a peck of dirt before you die.
Well, as soon as I get back home, I'm going to have this place investigated by the Women's Civic Betterment League.
What's the matter?
Drink a glass of water, Mr. Lewis.
Give him mine.
Excuse me. I just thought for a minute you said the Women's Civic Betterment League.
I did.
Am I to understand that you have any remote connection with this League of Harpies?
I am the president of that League of Harpies.
What? Good God!
I am also chairman of the policy board.
Mother is very active.
Now, Dad, don't lose your temper.
For months they've been on my neck. For months they've been making my life miserable. They've been trying to drive me out of business. I come down to my old alma mater to get 1 weekend of peace, 1 weekend of freedom from the Women's Civic Betterment League. And I get the president of it right in the middle of my Wiener Schnitzel.
What is your line of work, Mr. Lewis?
I'm a real estate man from Cleveland.
Oh, you're that Lewis, are you? You swindler!
Mother!
You heard her, James. You heard what she said. I've got witnesses.
All right.
I'll sue you for defamation of character. I'll sue you in every court in this land.
When we get through with you, you won't be able to sue a jackrabbit. You won't even be able to make a telephone call unless you borrow a nickel from the warden.
Everything I've done is completely legal.
Legal? Huh. Make a real estate development out of a peat bog. Paradise Acres.
So it's a little damp. What's wrong with a little water?
A little water? My sister bought a house in Paradise Acres, and the only way she can get to her flower bed is in a rubber boat.
Did Aunt Mina buy her house from Mr. Lewis?
Yes. And it was the same thing as if he'd stuck his dirty fist in poor Aunt Nina's pocketbook and stolen $12,000.
Now, just a minute.
That's why I've been laboring night and day to put a stop to people like you. I've got the Betterment League mobilized to a woman. We've got a bill before the state legislature, and they'll drive you and your kind out of business. Con men.
Well, I got swindled on that property. I had to get rid of it somehow.
But why did... Mr. Lewis, why did you have to pick on poor Aunt Nina?
Well, let the buyer beware.
Your father swindled my poor Aunt Nina.
Well, why didn't your old Aunt Nina watch what she was buying?
You know, I sense a very definite feeling of friction.
We're leaving. I won't sit at the same table with this Lewis person. Not another second. And I won't have you sitting here with his son. The tea leaves were certainly right.
Go on, you old battle axe. If you think James and I want you and your skinny daughter spoiling our dinner, you're crazy. Get on your broomstick and fly on it.
Oh, my goodness. I'm a failure. It's all my fault. I'm to blame. I must have done something wrong.
Shut up!
Oh, such rudeness.
Und now der Alpine Cave Flur Show. Hans Kugelmeister presents the singing and dancing of my famous Bavarian Bellringer. 1, 2...
Waiter, would you bring us a check, please?
Don't worry, I'll pay the bill.
I wouldn't eat off of your contaminated money. And, Janet, I want it clearly understood that you are never to see this boy again.
James, if I hear of you coming within spitting distance of this girl, I'll yank you out of college so fast you won't know what to do.
Remember, when you are the guest of Hans Kugelmeister, everybody loves everybody.
Jimmy!
Separate tapes!
We'll rejoin Jan and Jimmy in just a moment. Joan Davis will bring you another hilarious session in a department store tonight on her new Monday comedy series, Leave It to Joan. In fact, if you'll just stay tuned, most of these same stations will bring you Joan immediately following Young Love. Now, back to the campus of Midwestern University.
Hi, Mitch.
Hi, Mitch.
Well, kids, how'd it go? I bet your folks really got to know each other.
They sure did.
And when they got to be real pals and buddies, did you let them in on your little secret?
Mitch, somehow we didn't feel it was exactly the psychological moment.
How did it go?
It was a BFFTSNHH.
Meaning?
It was a big fat flop that shouldn't never have happened.
You'll hear Young Love, a new CBS college story every week at this time, starring Jimmy Lydon and Janet Waldo, with John Heaston, Verna Felton, John Brown, Jerry Hausner, Hans Conried, your announcer Larry Thor, the Judd Conlon choristers, and the music of Elliot Daniel, conducted by Wilbur Hatch. Young Love is written and directed by Lawrence and Lee. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.